Hello again everybody, this is Gusto, and today I'm going to be reviewing a civilian 24-hour ration. And this one is available through missionspecificproducts.com. You can see down here on the label, and I will include a link in the description. This ration was sent to me by BlackDogBob from MREinfo.com, and this is the 24-hour ration that I keep in my emergency bag. This is actually the second generation of his 24-hour emergency ration, and we'll take a look at a few of the differences between the first generation and the second generation, as well as doing a full review of this ration. If we take a look at the bag here, on the label it shows a menu number 2 with the main items listed there on the left side, and then the full meal kit contents on the right side. There is the contact information for mission specific products, so I'll stick a link up here somewhere and you can follow that to their website and order these. One variation just from the front cover is that it actually lists the specific items that are in this pack on the Generation 2. And this is a difference from the Generation 1s, which just had a list of the ingredients that could be in here, but they didn't have a specific menu. So right off the bat, you know exactly what you're getting in this kit. Let's take a look inside. Now this pack is about 3.5 pounds and is roughly the size of 2 standard MREs sitting side by side. Has a clear plastic outer. Now we'll take a look at the individual contents. There is a main item, which is beef stew with potatoes and carrots. There you can see the nutrition facts and the ingredients. Next, another main item, which is pasta marinara with vegetable meat crumbles. Again, nutrition facts and contents. There is a package of instant maple and brown sugar oatmeal. Flour tortillas, crackers, a package of long grain white rice, nut and raisin mix, a package of corn nuts, a package of dried fruit, a high energy bar, a package of peanut butter, oatmeal cookies, and there are 4 of these in here. 2 drink mixes, one is fruit punch and one is pink lemonade. 2 accessory packs, and we'll open one of those up in just a second. 3 125 milliliter packages of emergency purified drinking water. A toothbrush with toothpaste. And 3 flameless ration heaters. So right away, looking at the contents, you can see some significant differences between these 2 packages. The first generation, which I'm holding, contained 1 package of shelf-stable water, whereas the Generation 2 now contains 3. The Generation 1 also used a camping stove with fuel packs, and the Generation 2 now has 3 flameless ration heaters. The Generation 2 also contains a toothbrush and toothpaste, which is a nice addition. The food items are similar as far as snacks and main items go. They weigh about the same amount. They're very similar in size. And we'll talk about what those differences mean as we get further into this ration. Let's open up one of these accessory packs and see what's inside there. There is a napkin, a spoon, and it's actually a pretty sturdy spoon. Coffee, creamer, sugar, salt and pepper, a package of hot sauce, a package of Smarties, and a moist towelette. So for the purposes of this review, I'm going to break this into 3 meals, being breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For breakfast, I've chosen maple brown sugar oatmeal, dried fruit, and coffee. I'm keeping this portion of the review fairly light because I do want to demonstrate a couple of the differences between the first generation and second generation of this survival ration, and that is the extra flameless ration heater and the extra bags of water. So one of the intentions of having 3 flameless ration heaters when you only have 2 entrees is that you can actually use that to heat those extra packs of water to prepare the oatmeal as well as the coffee. Let's open that up. It is similar in size to the United States military MRE flameless ration heaters, the sealing on the side is a lot thicker and stronger than the ones that come in standard US MREs, which is nice because sometimes you can have splits on that seam. So let's put a couple of those in the FRH. We'll add water to the bag, to the fill line, and that usually takes about 2 ounces of water. And right away, it's getting fairly hot. That's the benefit of having a very fresh FRH, is that it does have a fairly vigorous reaction. So I'll leave that sitting for a few minutes and then we'll prepare the rest of the food. So first things first, we have the maple and brown sugar oatmeal. We'll get that onto the tray and then we'll add the hot water when it's done. There you go. Next, the dried fruit mix. If you look on the contents there, you can see that it has banana chips, papayas, and pineapple. Looks good. Alright, so I left the flameless ration heater going for about 15 minutes, and I'll tell you, this is a vigorous FRH. If you compare this to the United States MRE flameless ration heaters, the Element is way hotter. These things are hard to touch, they're so hot. So let's take the waters out. So still a lot of steam coming out. Check that out, steaming hot. So standard pouch of emergency water. It's got a tear notch on the top. We'll kind of take the corner off so you can kind of pour it in a controlled fashion. This says to add 4 ounces of water. I like my oatmeal a little bit thicker, so I'm not going to add all of it. Give that a stir. Let that sit for a few minutes. Meanwhile, we'll prepare the coffee. And this coffee is Deep Rich Instant Coffee, and this is the same coffee brand that's found in the United States Totems, or the Tailored Operational Training Meals. And it is a fine powder. There you can see it. I will add the creamer and the sugar and the other heated package of water. So there's breakfast, and we'll give this stuff a try. We'll start with the main item, which is the maple brown sugar oatmeal. Pretty good sized pieces of grain there. Yep, that's very good. It tastes very fresh. A lot of the instant oatmeals kind of have a little bit of a sour flavor to them, especially after they've been packaged for a while. This tastes very fresh. It has a good maple flavor to it, and the grains are not too soggy. Just a very good food item there. And that's one of the benefits from this civilian ration. If you compare it to buying US MREs for your emergency food storage, when you get those from eBay or Amazon or wherever you get them, they're usually at least 3 years old. So they've reached about half of their designed shelf life. This ration is very close to production date. It's actually a late 2016 production date. So very fresh food. Next, let's try some of the dried fruit. Try to get a little bit of everything. Alright, so there you have some pineapple, some papaya, and banana chips. And those are also very good. The papaya is very sweet, as is the pineapple, and the banana chips add a nice crunch, good texture there. So very good flavor to that dried fruit. And we'll finish breakfast with the coffee. Again, this is the Deep Rich Instant Coffee with 1 cream and 1 sugar. And that's good. You can tell that it's a fresh instant coffee because it doesn't have a lot of that bitterness. And the packages of water are 4.27 ounces, so it actually makes a small cup of coffee, but I really think that any more water to that coffee would actually dilute it too much and you'd lose a lot of flavor. But overall, a pretty good instant coffee. And that's it for a relatively light breakfast. We'll finish this up and we'll move on to lunch. Okay, for the lunch portion of this review, I've chosen the pasta marinara with veggie meat crumbles, the high energy bar, the nut and raisin mix, some tortillas with some peanut butter, and the fruit punch drink mix. First things first, we'll heat up the main item in the second of the flameless ration heaters. So get that box open. So here is the retort pouch with all the same information on the front. That's nice. It has a production date of 17/037, so I'm guessing this is the 37th day of 2017. So very fresh, as I mentioned before. Open up the ration heater. Put the main item inside there. And again, we'll add water to that fill line there. And instantaneously you start hearing the reaction happening. Steam already being produced. We'll get this one back into the cardboard sleeve that it came with. I'm also going to stick those flour tortillas in this box so they're nice and warm as well. Makes them more pliable. Set that up against a rock or something. Give that a few minutes to heat. And while that's heating, we'll get everything else out onto the tray. We'll start with the nut and raisin mix. You can see that this contains peanuts, raisins, walnuts, sunflower seeds, almonds, and salt. Next, the high energy bar. Here you can see the calorie count being 410, so this does contain a significant amount of energy for a fairly small item. Here's the ingredients if you're interested. That's interesting, it actually has a separate inner bag. Kind of looks like a dense cookie bar. So there's that. Again, it looks really just like a cookie. It is pretty hard, actually. Looks like it has a lot of oils in it. Kind of smells like a shortbread cookie. Next we have the flour tortillas, and I warmed these up for a few minutes in the box with the main item and the flameless ration heater. So they are nice and warm, very soft, pliable, so they don't split. Again, a benefit of being very fresh. Those look very nice, actually. I also have a package of peanut butter, and this looks identical to the ones that you find in the US MREs. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it on the tortilla here. Looks pretty good, creamy peanut butter. I do have a beverage to prepare, and that is the fruit punch flavored drink mix. Calls for 12 ounces of water. And now it's time for the main. It has heated very thoroughly. And And just like the last one, this FRH did a great job heating this item. If we look at this retort pouch, it does have the tear notches across the top instead of across the long side. Makes it a lot easier to open and pour in a controlled fashion. Also has a second set of tear notches that you can use it as a bowl and eat with the spoon directly out of the pouch. Let's get this opened up and onto the tray. And that is blazing hot. Alright, so there you go, lunch portion of this ration. Let's go ahead and start with the main item. Get some of the vegetable crumbles, some of the pasta. It's a nice strongly scented marinara sauce there. There you go, up close. That has a really strong tomato flavor with some Italian seasoning. It's actually pretty pleasant. It's similar to any canned pasta item that you'll get. The noodles are very soft, and they actually don't add a whole lot of texture to this dish, but the veggie meat crumbles, they do actually have a nice dense texture, and the ingredients do list a vegetable protein. I'm not really sure what that is, maybe soy or something like that. Kind of has that texture. And the flavor's not bad. I think we can make it a little better though with some of this hot sauce. The hot sauce is also a new addition to this ration pack. And in my opinion, a vital one. So we'll give that a mix and we'll try that. And as predicted, that does spice up the dish a little bit, adds a little bit of saltiness, and overall it improves the flavor pretty dramatically. That's a good addition. Try some of this nut and raisin mix. And this one, in comparison to the United States nut raisin mix, which is pretty heavy on peanuts, this is very heavy on sunflower seeds. It also has some walnuts in it. So that looks pretty good. And that's also very good. Again, very fresh flavor. And just the addition of a little bit of salt makes that nut and raisin mix a lot better. The salt actually brings out more of the sweetness of the raisins. And the raisins are very fresh and soft. Some of those nut raisin mixes in the US MREs, especially the ones that are a little bit older, are dried out a lot more and a lot harder. So that's very good. Now this high energy bar, which looks a lot like some of the survival ration bars that you can get. And those are very heavy on oils and flour. Try this. It's very dense, kind of hard to break, but there you can see the inside there. And that's actually very good. It is the really dense, compressed kind of survival bar texture, but the flavor is awesome. It actually has kind of a shortbread flavor, but then you pick up a lot of coconut. That's really tasty. I like that a lot. And again, it supplies 410 calories just for that small bar, and that's just a tremendous amount of energy. So a very good item. Next we have the tortillas. And again, these are nice and soft, very fresh smelling, and especially heated in the flameless ration heater. They're very pliable. We'll try some of this by itself. And that's a very good tortilla. It's soft. It tastes, again, just like everything else in this ration, very fresh. And especially heated up, it just has a very good flavor. We'll try some with this peanut butter. Again, this is just a creamy peanut butter. It's the same item that you get in the United States MREs. And that's very good, as you would expect. Nice creamy texture, strong peanut flavor, and not overly sweetened. That's good peanut butter. And lastly, we'll try the beverage. This is the Fruit Punch beverage powder. It has mixed very well. Nice clear red color. And that's good. I would suggest using maybe a couple ounces shy of what it calls for. It seems a little bit dilute, but it has a good fruit punch flavor. So that's it for lunch. We'll finish this up and we'll move on to dinner a little bit later. Alright, so for dinner we have the beef stew with potatoes, carrots, and peas. Has some long grain white rice, which will go very well with that. Some crackers, corn nuts, pink lemonade flavored drink mix, and oatmeal cookies for dessert. So just like last time, we need to get this heated up. Open the box. And the retort pouch. Production date, late 2016. Open the ration heater. Put the main item in there. And I'm also going to add the long grain white rice. And I do think that this flameless ration heater bag is just a little bit bigger than the United States FRH's, because it was way too easy to get 2 items in there. So add the water up to the fill line and make sure that I pour it right between those 2 pouches so the water contacts the heating element and activates it. And once again, up against a rock or something. And while that's heating up, we'll get everything else onto the tray. I'll start with the crackers, and these have a very similar appearance to United States MRE crackers. Very well vacuum sealed, about the same size. And a nice hiss. They come out pretty much complete. They're very similar to United States MRE crackers, if not the exact same thing. Next we have some corn nuts. There's some nutritional information if you're interested. Pretty decent amount of those. We also have a large package of oatmeal cookies. It has 4 of these in here from what I can feel, so you could easily split these up between a couple of meals. There you have it. I'll take 2 of these out. I think my daughters will like the other 2. This also has a beverage, and it is the pink lemonade flavored drink mix. Again, that calls for 12 ounces of water, and I think I'm going to go a little bit shy of that. Just stop at 11. Okay, about 15 minutes has passed, and this is fully heated. Let's get this out. And first I'm going to open the long grain white rice. So the package is very hot, everything seems to be loose in there. So there you have it. There's the rice. And right away this looks pretty good. A lot of the rice, especially in the United States MREs, tends to end up like a sticky clump of rice. These grains are actually fairly well separated and has held together very well, and that may just reflect the freshness. Next, the beef stew, and this is also very hot. And that looks pretty good. Big pieces of carrots and potatoes, some peas. The beef looks like it's shredded or just finely diced. So there's dinner, and it all looks very good. So let's try this out. I'm going to try the main item by itself first. Try to get a little bit of everything. There's the beef stew up close. And that's pretty good. It tastes like a typical canned beef stew, but remarkably it's not as salty as a lot of those are. That's actually pretty good. Try some of the rice by itself. Again, it's pleasing that this isn't just a gummy mass. Actually looks pretty appetizing. And that's pretty good. It is a little bit soft, but it's certainly not too sticky or gummy. It has a pretty good flavor. It's unseasoned, but I think it will go very well with the stew here. So mix some of that in. We'll try that out in a minute. Meanwhile, the crackers. Again, these look very similar to United States MRE crackers. Actually kind of a little bit of a soft feeling to it. So in texture it's a little bit softer than I'm used to, but it's not soggy. And that's not bad at all. It's lightly salted, otherwise your standard MRE cracker. Next we'll try some corn nuts. So there you go. They don't smell like any particular seasoning, but they do have some salt in them. And I have not had corn nuts in a long time, but those are just as I remember. Nice corn flavor to them, a good strong crunch, and a decent amount of salt. Those are a very good snack. Next I'm going to finish dressing up this beef stew. I'm going to add the rest of this hot sauce here. Make it nice and spicy. We'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. That should be pretty good. Mix that up a little bit. And that makes a lot of difference. Just a little bit of salt and pepper and the rest of that hot sauce, and about a half a pack of that hot sauce brings out a whole lot of flavor. You can actually taste the beef a little bit more. Gives it a really good overall flavor. Let's try some of this drink. This is the pink lemonade drink. Again, just like the last one, it is mixed very well. And that's good. It's got a decent amount of tartness to it, not overly sweet, and going just shy of 12 ounces on the water was a good decision. Nice citrus flavor to that as well. And lastly, let's try one of these cookies. These are oatmeal cookies. Nice and crunchy. That's a really good cookie. It has a really coarse oatmeal texture. It's nice and crispy and has a lot of cinnamon. That's really tasty. I had an idea. I have a little bit of peanut butter left over. Put some of that on there too. And I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's very good complementary flavors there. So that concludes the dinner portion of this 24-hour emergency ration from BlackDogBob. And a couple of things I wanted to mention. This is the only civilian 24-hour ration produced in the United States. So if you're interested in it, please follow that website, missionspecificproducts.com, and they're available for order. Overall, this is an excellent emergency food ration. Again, this is what I keep in my emergency bag and also in my storm shelter. The food in there is very fresh, very high quality, and there's a lot of it. This supplies between 3,100 and 3,500 calories depending on the menu that you get. So BlackDogBob, thank you very much for supplying this ration. To the YouTube viewers and subscribers, thank you as well. I always appreciate your support, and again, your support benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, so I appreciate that. To the folks in the ration review community on YouTube and on MREinfo.com, you guys are fantastic. Thank you very much for your continued support. Please stay tuned. I have a lot more to come. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.